Today we're going to talk about the High Priestess. This is the second card of the major arcana. She is considered the divine feminine. We're using the Tarot for Kids deck. In this deck, she's not called the High Priestess. In this deck, what is she called?
The Moon Queen. They call her that because the woman on the card has a crown of moons. She is also holding a full moon and is accompanied by a crescent moon.
So this card has 4 meanings: intuition, stillness, personal power, and cycles. So let's talk about intuition. So Rowan, what is intuition?
Deep knowledge of what is right for you.
Yeah, it's like a deep knowing inside yourself. Sometimes you start to do something or have an idea about doing something, and then what happens?
Then your gut tells you that it doesn't seem safe.
Or the right thing for you to be doing.
Yeah.
Often, if you ignore that feeling, what is the outcome?
Then you might get hurt.
Right, well, the outcome might not be good, right?
Yeah.
And oftentimes, if you listen to that feeling, the outcome could be
Better?
Yeah, I think so. But sometimes intuition is inconvenient because it might tell you something that's different than what you want to do. Either because it's telling you to do something harder or less fun, or something that others might not understand easily. The next meaning is stillness. So what do we mean when we talk about stillness?
Maybe take some quiet, private time to sit with your own ideas.
Yeah, maybe without being influenced by other people. Can you think of a time when you wanted to be still?
Meditating?
Yeah, meditating is a great way to be still. Can you think of a time when you wanted to take some time to either meditate or just sit quietly because something else was happening around you?
When the school gets noisy, I like to do that.
Yeah, right. Because school can be very overstimulating because there's lots of kids running around and maybe being real loud. And so you can just sit quietly and just concentrate on being quiet.
Yeah.
I bet that helps you learn too. So Rowan, if there are kids who have difficulty being still, do you have any advice for them? Because I know sometimes you struggle with that.
Try to focus on the body part that's moving a lot.
Okay, and what is something else that you can focus on once your body starts to get a little bit still?
Focus on breathing.
And just think about following your breath in your body, right?
Yeah.
I think that's great advice, Rowan. Thank you. All right, so the third meaning is personal power. So tell me a little bit about personal power, Rowan.
Being comfortable, doing stuff on your own, and knowing what is right for you and what's not right for you.
Yeah, being unconcerned about the judgment of others. Because sometimes being yourself might be different than how other people are themselves, right?
Yeah.
And I think to do that, sometimes you have to be really strong in your emotions and in your feelings of yourself.
Yeah.
Can you think of an example of a time when you did your own thing when other people maybe didn't understand?
At school, when we play, sometimes I like to do stuff that people don't understand.
You like to play your own game that's different than what other kids are playing?
Yeah.
Does that make you feel bad? No, because you feel strongly about who you are and what you need for yourself?
Yeah.
I love that. All right. So the last meaning is cycles. Can you think of anything that has a cycle to it? Something that has maybe a beginning, a middle, and an end, and then a new beginning and a middle and an end?
The moon.
It gets full and really big and bright circle in the sky, and then over a few days it starts to become smaller. You can see less of it. More of the moon is in shadow. And then when we're halfway through the month, then the moon almost looks like it disappears because the whole thing is in shadow. And then it starts to brighten back up again, and then it gets back to a full moon. Can you think of something else that might be a cycle? The seasons, right?
Yeah.
We're in the mid-Atlantic of the United States. We have winter, when it's real cold. And what comes after winter?
Spring?
Yeah, spring, where it starts to get warmer and
Flowers grow?
the leaves come back on the trees. And then after spring, we have
Summer. Where are flowers?
and more plants, and it gets real warm. Lots of sun.
Yeah.
And that's when people go to the beach.
Then it gets colder.
The autumn comes, and then what happens to the leaves on the trees?
They fall.
And then winter comes again. And it happens every year, over and over. You know, another cycle is day and night.
Yeah.
The day comes, and then the sun starts to set, and then it's called dusk, and then it's nighttime. And then the sun starts to come back up, and that's called dawn. So with this card, it's reminding you that things happen in cycles, that things might happen over and over again, sometimes for us to learn a lesson, and that we can work with those cycles to improve the way that we live in the world. One easy example is some people are more productive in the morning, and some people are more productive in the evening.
Yeah.
And some people are more productive in the middle of the day. And knowing what's better for you is helpful. So, Rowan, what about you?
I am more productive in the morning because, if I get a lot of homework and I can't really finish it, and I'm a little too tired, I get up really extra early.
And if you tried to finish it at night, what would happen?
I just get really moody.
Okay. Well, so that's the High Priestess. The High Priestess is talking about intuition, that deep knowing inside yourself, about being still, thoughtful, and reflective. Personal power, knowing what's right for you. And cycles, paying attention to if there's different times in the day or different times in the year or in the week that you like to do things where you're the most effective and using that to your advantage. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Well, I love you, baby.
I love you too.